All right, now we just need to finish out our C++ definition. All right, so we should now have our complete C and header for the C files. The next thing we need to do is write a test, because how the heck do we know that anything we did was correct? Okay, so actually first let's write our test helper. So we're gonna have a bunch of tests because we're gonna have tests for Poly1305, XChaCha, HChaCha, ChaCha, all types of different things. So let's make we can probably get away with a header only. So this is just our common test file, and we'll need the header guard. And then we'll need some of the standard data types. Standard integers. And because we will be printing things, keep in mind, this is for us to be testing our implementation. This is not supposed to be on the embedded devices. So we're going to include standard input output, but that's not something that we're going to use everywhere, because low-level devices, they may not even have that implementation, or you may not want to use that much memory. This is just stuff to test our own logic on, like, resource-rich systems. So we are going to have a set of expected bytes. That won't change. So the first thing that we're going to want is the name. Then we're going to want the actual versus the expected. Remember, we want to use portable data types here because we are using portable data types. Oops, uint8t for actual. I want that for expected. And then our length will be size t. So then we want our iterator. So if the actual element of whatever we're comparing does not equal our expected element, then we're going to print that this byte differs at this byte number. We got, what is it? The byte of, no. I think that's right. We might get a compiler error. So we got something and we expected something else, and then we're going to pass these in. So byte whatever, new line character. And so that first thing is going to be the name. So we'll pass in name. Then we'll pass in, we got to cast this. So we'll pass in I. Then we'll pass in, because we want to know which byte number. So we're going through incrementing this. We want to know what byte number it differed at. We want to know what the actual byte was that we produced. We're going to want to know what the expected byte was that we produced, or that we didn't produce. And then if that happens, we'll return 1 because we want to know that something went wrong. If that doesn't happen, then we'll return 0. And we just have to close the end if. Okay, so now we have our 3 files. So before we write our test, we're going to actually want to organize this a little bit better because we're going to start littering this directory. So the first thing we're going to want to do, if you are on Linux or Windows, mkdir is make directory. So we're going to want the source directory. We're going to make a test directory. We'll call it test, plural. And we're going to make an include directory where the headers go. So we have the include, source, and tests directories, and now we're going to move these around. So we're going to move xcp.c to source. So it's there now. We want to move xcp.h to the include. Okay, and we're going to want to move the test common to tests. So now we have our include, source, and test directories, and the correct files are under each of those. All right, so now we can make our actual ChaCha20 block test. I'm going to take a short break and I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. So I found the test vector for the ChaCha20 block function. So the key is this set of bytes. The nonce is this set of bytes. Notice the 9 and the 4a. These are not all 0. And then they give us the expected. So in the end, this is the output that we are expecting. So I'm going to type this all on screen. It's going to take me a while to type these because I'm a poor typer, especially with the microphone between my face and the keyboard. So I'm going to fast forward through it, but it'll still be on there, and I will stop and show you what you're going to need to have. So we're going to put this under the tests folder. And we're going to make a new test called the ChaCha20 block test. We're going to include both of our header files, so that is xcp. So our main function is not going to take any inputs because we are statically providing the data. So our key is 32 bytes, and it is going to be faster. All right, so that is our key. Then we need our nonce. So this is going to be a constant uint 8. And it's going to be 12 bytes because remember we have 3 elements of this, which are 4 bytes apiece, and then 1 element of a counter. So and then we have our expected byte output. And I do not remember.